just before International Women's Day, a huge night at the Albert Hall. I bet it's something you've just been counting down the days for.
Well, I remember, so I went to a show at the Royal Albert Hall like a year and a half ago, and I took a video and put it on my social media, and I literally said, it'd be really cool if boxing was here. I didn't know the history of it, I'm not from here. And then boxer Baz responded to me, he's like, we're working on it. And I'm like, no way. So now that we're here, like, I'm excited because I think that's one of the fun parts is we always talk about the cities we go to and the countries, but we don't talk about the specific venues. We get to do it in really, really cool places. And the Royal Albert Hall is like one of the most iconic venues in the world. So the fact I get to be in there, it's going to be cool. It's the best I'll ever sound. The acoustics are perfect. I mean, it's going to be great. I'm pumped. Really fired up for it.
And you get a dress rehearsal at the Dorchester. I mean, not a bad place for a weigh-in.
I agree. I mean, they must have messed up the hotels. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to stay here. They put me in another hotel. I'm pretty sure they said the Dorchester's where I'm staying. I'll talk to somebody, but.
In your young career so far, you've obviously had a few twists and turns, yes. And no doubt there was always going to be another one with Joe Gallagher around a fight week. He's been pecking away at Team Price all week and sort of pecked away at you a little bit there.
I was like, come on, Joe. Like, hey man, I'm neutral here. You don't got to interrupt me. I'm trying to drum this up right now. We just went live on television. But no, I respect Joe because I'm a detail-oriented person, and in my opinion, with boxing, no stone can go unturned, basically, in terms of getting an advantage or understanding if everything's legit. I remember we were in Poland with Lawrence Okoli, and he was measuring the ring. Like he's a very detailed guy, whether or not it's head games or whether or not he's actually that, if he really thinks there's an issue, I don't know. I appreciate it, respect it. Threw me a little bit off guard. I would have appreciated, like, hey, by the way, I'm going to interrupt you in about 20 seconds, but it's all good. This is why I love this sport, is because it's not the same all the time. Like that, I've never experienced that before. Great, now I have. And now it's one more thing on my boxing bucket list. Get interrupted by a trainer on stage. All good.
And this week you're telling us your story on The Voice of Boxing, yes. Which we can't wait for. Just tell us about Fight Day and your preparations to perform, I guess, in somewhere like the Albert Hall, live on Sky Sports, in a cracking event and main fight.
Yeah, no, I really love the show aspect of what we do. I always have enjoyed that. Obviously, that's my component that I can influence. So I love getting there early. I love rehearsing with Sky. I like being involved in the sense of, and maybe it's like the team aspect of my athletic background, but I believe in everyone doing their job. So if the commentators do a good job, if the announcer does a good job, if the camera one, camera two, if they all do a good job, then that's how we end up with a good broadcast. We can only control what we can control. We can't control the fight, we can't control the ref or the judges or anything like that, but we can control the presentation. And the presentation is ultimately what the viewers consume, and is ultimately the product that makes the industry, go round and round and round. So I like being involved, I like rehearsing, getting there early, understanding flow, sound checking, hydration's important, maybe a couple vocal warm-ups. But other than that, I pretty much just ready to go at any point. I could announce right now if I wanted to.
And it's probably one that you're going to look back on in years to come that said, I did one at the Albert Hall, because it's just steeped in history, not just in boxing, but in everything.
Well, I got to tour it the other day, and it was an amazing, iconic venue. Like, I like enjoying that and knowing, okay, yeah, boxing is here, but what else has been here? At the O2, they have a whole shrine of everyone that's been there and things like that, and I was able to do the O2 for the first all-women's card. So it's funny, like, women's boxing has actually been a pretty pivotal part of my career. The first big show I ever did was with you, Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall at the O2. That was the first ever big fight I did. Now I get to do an all-women's card at the Royal Albert Hall. I've done a ton of women's fights. I've done pretty much all of Natasha Jonas's fights since Katie Taylor. I've gotten to announce, and she's undefeated. So women's boxing has been a huge part of my career, so I'm thankful to do it, and being able to announce in the Royal Albert Hall is just crazy. Like, not a lot of people get to hold a microphone in that venue, and I get to, so it's an honor for me.
Finally, a tough question. Who wins between Lauren and Tasha? And Tasha's about 5 feet away from you.
So I like to stay neutral. Obviously, I don't like to pick winners. In my opinion, this is a matchup, a classic matchup. You have the seasoned veteran that's seen there, been there, done that, has the t-shirt, been unified in 2 different weight divisions, has more fights, but now you have the upstart. Maybe a bigger motor, younger, maybe faster, I have no idea. So that's going to be the matchup. In my opinion, Natasha Jonas is already one of the best, not just women's boxers, but boxers in the world. Lauren Price could be that. In my opinion, Lauren Price has the ceiling to be the best in the world. I think in a couple years we easily could see a Lauren Price versus Clarissa Shields type of fight. But for Lauren to get to that level that we all think she can get to, she has to beat Natasha. And for Natasha to cement her legacy of being who she has been her whole career, she has to beat Lauren. So it's the immovable object versus the unstoppable force. We're going to see it tomorrow night.
Thanks, Mo. Brilliant.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.